Thank you so much, Madam Waziri, riding on the already established protocol. His Excellency the Governor, the Deputy Governor, my peers and a very good friend in professional administration, my brother Mutari, the members of the parliament present, Mheshimiwa Weitan, we've been in school together actually hata ameniona dunia ingine ya upande hiyo. Mheshimiwa Zulega here, professional administration present, the DCC, the leadership in the Mandera County Assembly led by my good friend Ahmed Rashid, is popularly Rasho, it's true, tumetoka na yeye mbali sana. And my area MC, I can see down nyuma ya the DG, and all protocol observed. And I think before I conclude with that, wenzangu walemavu ambao wako ndani ya nyumba pia. Assalamu alaikum once again. Madam Waziri, yangu sio only about the launch of this report. It is a personal experience actually for me coming home. And I belong to all the constituency literally of Mandera County. Nimezaliwa huko Dandu, and my father is a pastoralist, ametembea huko na huko na aka-establish dynasty yake Kutulu. MCA yangu iko hapa Golo. And then as a last born, my mother alishindikana na maisha ya ufugaji. She came and settled hapa Mandera town with my maternal uncles. Hapa ndio nilisomea standard 1 mpaka standard 4. I mean form 4. Mandera Boys Town Primary School. Watu ya Mandera Boys Town tupatie nduru. Wako? Mandera Secondary School. I'm very glad Mheshimiwa Faisal and many other MCS here, we have been both in Mandera Boys Town, Mandera Secondary School together. So for me, Maziri, this is a personal, actually, and I was here last 2017, 7 years ago. So it is more of a homecoming for me. A lot has changed, I must admit. The role devolution has played in improving public amenities, especially in the far-flung and historically marginalized counties, cannot be ignored. For Northerners, we grew up without developmental indicators such as tarmac. You have seen tarmac, isn't it? I saw the first time tarmac in Garissa when I was going to Kenyatta University. You can imagine. And it's not so long ago. Electricity, for example, though it is erratic as you saw, I still vividly remember that the first time I ever saw tarmac was in Garissa when I was traveling to Nairobi to join Kenyatta University. We used to hilariously say that we are finally traveling to Kenya. Courtesy of devolution, we have now some semblance of equality and equity, you know, and a strong sense of now belonging that we too are proudly Kenyans. We are no longer saying we are going to Kenyans. We are now proudly Kenyans. A lot has changed, as I've said, Waziri and His Excellency, and a lot has changed, and so have I. I said I schooled here, but what has changed was the drastic thing that changed my lifestyle. A road accident, and a back injury, and then a wheelchair user. It took me 3 years to accept this life. And it took me another 2 years to really want to understand what disability is all about. Today, some of my best friends were people of Mandera Boys Town who had disabilities. I never thought I would one day become a disabled man and become their close friends. But as fate will have it, they are the ones who taught me tricks on how to use this wheelchair and how to accept, you know, that you look different, but kubali uko ndani. And with disabilities across the country, I came to appreciate that ulemavu is not about our impairment. It's about the barriers across different forms of disability. My form of disability, barrier kubwa ni vile tunajenga manyumba zetu, maofisi zetu, huko ndani. So naona sasa iko ramp, nimekuja bila, lakini kama ingekuwa hii stairs ningeongea huko. That is the disability. Mtu ambaye haoni, communication. Mtu ambaye hasikii, ni communication. So it taught me a lot. And that made me to combine with other persons with disability in this region, and we formed the first disabled persons organization in this region called Nondo. I think everybody knows Nondo. And you know it with the flagship event, the Desert Wheel Race. We use the sport to tell the story of disability differently in this region. to fight stigma, to fight labeling, to fight attitudes. For the purpose of launching this report, Waziri, we choose Mandera County for the symbolic essence it possesses. It is distance from the capital and perceived distance from the government itself. It is arid conditions, weather extremities, and nomadic lifestyle of the communities give the perfect mix where social protection is really the artery of life, especially for persons with severe disabilities. The county government of Mandera, under the leadership of His Excellency, the Governor, has taken clear steps with the intent of having its policies and programs tilting from the capital-intense programs towards social transformation, and we recognize his leadership for that, actually. I wish to take this opportunity to really thank our CS and our peers for accepting to come and hold the event in Mandera, whose tagline, as you heard, is the county of unlimited and endless possibilities, debunking the fears and the myth associated with our home. I also wish to humbly appreciate His Excellency the Governor for accepting to host us during this event. I was privileged to host the Governor in my office in Nairobi after a courtesy call he had paid on our Principal Secretary. The Governor was also, I must say, the first Governor from Northern Kenya to visit my small office. Yes, the county government, you know, that's a commitment actually to the cause of disability from this county, let me put it that way. We held discussion touching on various disability activities in the county, including, very importantly, registration of persons with disabilities, assistive devices, and disability mainstreaming in this county. During his annual State of the County address on Thursday, or sorry, on Wednesday, is it Wednesday or Thursday? I'm not sure. Wednesday, the Governor affirmed his commitment to partner with the councils on undertaking mass registration on all the sub-counties, taking custom-sized measurement for assistive devices for persons with disabilities and distributing them for free of charge. We have also held cordial conversation with them, with the team organizing this activity led by the CS below here and the Chief of Staff, Mr. Izzuddin here, and are grateful for them welcoming us with an open hand. The report we are launching today brings to the fore the huge burdens experienced by households of persons with severe disabilities. With majority of caregivers, as you have seen, 58% whooping being the parents, being, you know, the parent. 4 in 5 of them do not have a source of income. For those with some source of livelihood, 91% of them earn a monthly income of less than 10,000, while 7.6% earn between 10,000 and 20,000 shilling. It's also worth noting the majority of these income streams are from the informal sector, with the family suffering economic risk due to unpredictability of these earnings. Waziri and PS, this is an area that shows that the burden felt by these families. The report also shows that about 17% of the families surveyed had more than one person with severe disabilities. The prayer from these families, Madam Waziri, is that the household-based support be reviewed to individual base so that these families can have some sense of economic relief while looking after their loved ones. In exercise of our mandate of championing the right of persons with disabilities, we continue doing everything we can as a council to improve our service delivery. For persons with disabilities, Waziri registration is the door that opens availability of opportunities and services for persons with disabilities, as enshrined by the laws of Kenya. 18 hours, because you can't afford the air ticket, to check if your disability medical report has been signed. Couldn't afford this undertaking, you had no choice but to give up. What does that mean then? You don't access opportunities that you are entitled to as a Kenyan with disabilities. As the council, ours over the last 3 years has been a quest to rekindle this hope and do everything within our mandate to restore the dignity of persons with disabilities by easing access to service for them. 3 years ago, Waziri, through the support of Council of Governors, Ministry of Health and other stakeholders, we managed to decentralize the Director of Medical Service signature from Nairobi to all the county directors of health. Today, the persons with disability in Mandera does not need to travel all the way to Nairobi, since this service is now carried out by the county directors of health right here in Mandera County. This is a huge milestone, a bright spot in the Kenyan story of disability that will be told by generations to come. 3 years ago, the disability card, Waziri, was also very elusive for majority of persons with disabilities. On top of being elusive, it was also prone to fraud, as it could be easily fabricated from any backstreet vendors. Fast forward today, the registration process for persons with disability is currently on e-citizen in line with the directives of His Excellency the President. At the Council, we continue working very hard to generate evidence-based research to better inform government policy-making processes, as well as advocacy effort by the stakeholders, including county government. We welcome all stakeholders to partake of this report and support us in working toward improving the state of disability in Kenya. Engagement like today, Waziri, also gives us the opportunity to reflect on matters of issues, including the role of counties in promoting disability inclusion. Last week, together with USAID and our PCAPS officiated on your behalf, we launched the first disability landscape analysis report showing the role of counties, the role counties can play in enhancing disability inclusion. This need is also very evident among the nomadic and pastoralist counties. In the spirit of devolution, of bringing services closer to the people and addressing the marginalization among the marginalized, we also appeal to our host county to establish a legal framework of constituting a county disability fund with the specific goal of improving the socioeconomic well-being of persons with disabilities. Counties such as Bungoma, Kiambu, and Wajir have such funds in place, and we look forward to even a better framework in Mandera, and we're very optimistic about that. We know that the report has also raised an interesting concern, that 2 in 3 beneficiaries of the Severe Disabilities Cash Transfer Program have no knowledge on the council and its services. Think about that. The report invites us to also be critical of ourselves and look internally into how we can improve on our public communications. This is why such forums as this one on today, away from Nairobi and down to the real grassroots, are so important for public awareness creation, recognizing the special and the unique demographic and audience we serve. The native of this county have a proverb that says in Kisomali, I don't know whether I will say it in Kisomali or in English, and quote, if people come together, they can even mend a crack in the sky. If people come together, they can even mend a crack in the sky. Our possibilities are enormous, and we look forward to working with you on the endeavor and many more touching on persons with disabilities. And I want to also recognize in a big way the board of the directors of National Council, who for the first time also came to Mandera County, my home county, led by Dr. Munene, representing our chair here, and Director Orina. And thank you so much. And mimi niko nyumbani, Marco wa shekesando na njala.